Your best employee inside your small business just gave notice. Not the person who shows up late, not the one who does the bare minimum, your star player. And here's why that hurts. They didn't leave for more money. They left because they saw something you didn't see yet, a ceiling that you don't even know exists. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 real reasons high performers leave small businesses first and what you need to fix before your next top player walks out the door. Let me be clear. Small businesses don't lose their best people because of ping pong tables or unlimited PTO. They lose them because of 3 things: unclear trajectory, structural chaos, and broken learning promises. High performers are constantly scanning for answers to these questions. Where am I going? Am I building something that matters? Am I growing faster here than I would somewhere else? When those answers get murky, they start updating their LinkedIn. Let me walk you through each one. Small businesses are flat by design. You don't have 5 layers of management. You can't promote someone every 18 months. There isn't always a VP of something waiting for them. Your business might eventually have the role they want, but not on their timeline. High performers move fast. Small businesses scale slow. So what happens? They look up and think, there's nowhere for me to go in the next year or 2. And once they see that ceiling, the clock starts ticking. This isn't necessarily about ego, it's about trajectory. High achievers need visible progression, and that could come in title, scope, ownership, or strategic influence. If progression is undefined, they assume it doesn't exist, and they start interviewing. Now, you might be thinking, but I told them there's room to grow. That's not enough. Let me show you why in reason 2. High performers can handle pressure. What they cannot handle is dysfunction. Here's what I see in small businesses all the time. Goals change every week. Accountability is inconsistent. Processes don't exist. The loudest voice wins. Priorities shift mid-project. Your average employee, they'll survive that because they don't care. Your high performer, they're done because high performers are wired to build momentum. They want to finish something, improve something, scale something. But when the goalpost moves every 3 days, they never feel traction. They feel busy, but not impactful. And high achievers don't leave because they're tired. They leave because they feel like their talent is being wasted. Chaos doesn't just burn them out, it convinces them that you don't know what you're building. And this brings me to the 3rd reason. And honestly, this is probably the one that stings the most. Small businesses often recruit high performers with one killer pitch. You'll learn more here than you would at a big company. I know I use that. And you know what? It can be very true. Broader scope, exposure to strategy, access to the CEO, job enrichment that doesn't exist in corporate. But the catch is you can only deliver that promise if you have structure. If there's no clarity, no regular feedback, no real development plan, no expanding ownership, then they're not learning, they're just reacting. High performers will absolutely trade higher pay for accelerated growth, but they will not trade growth for chaos. When the learning curve flattens, they leave, and they don't give you a second chance. Do you notice what's missing from this list? It's not about salary, usually, benefits, office perks, free snacks. I'm not saying people never leave for those things, but I am saying that in 15 years of working exclusively with small businesses, it's usually about ceiling, chaos, and stalled growth. And here's what I've definitely learned to be true. These problems don't happen randomly. They happen at predictable headcount stages. What works at 10 people breaks at 25. What works at 25 absolutely collapses at 50. And your best people feel the cracks before you do. If you want to see what typically breaks at each stage before you lose your next high performer, I've built something for you. It's called the Small Business Headcount Breakpoint. It maps exactly what starts to crack as you scale in headcount and where you need to add structure to keep your best people. That link is in the description. Grab it before your next one-on-one with your star player. Because if you don't intentionally build clarity, accountability, and growth paths, your competitors will. High performers don't leave small businesses because they hate small businesses or they don't like small business life. They leave when the business stops growing in a way that lets them grow. Now, here's the good news. This is fixable. You don't need a bigger company to keep your best people. You need a more intentional one. You need to have the career conversation before they do. You need to build structure that creates momentum, not chaos. You need to deliver on the learning promise, not just make it. These are leadership choices. These are design choices. And when you get them right, your high performers don't just stay, they become your absolute competitive advantage. Let's build that.